Have you seen SWOT play in movies where one opponent is always trying to defend from the other opponent from getting attacked? Now, I want you to remember whenever you enter a sales encounter, whenever you enter, especially when someone is trying to object or put up concern, you are entering that SWOT play with the customer. The moment you give in to the objection, the moment you agree with him that yes, you're right, sir, or you agree in terms of his objection against your product, you give in and let the opponent attack you and ultimately kill your sale. Never ever. This I learned really, I think, really hard way. I would always give in to objections. I would always agree, okay, with a customer. Like he would say, I don't have time, or there are so many better things in the market than this. I would try to defend, but then I would not be so enthusiastic about it. So until recently, I understood that if you do not give in to your objections, the customer also will feel that, yes, there is something in it I need to know. Why this person believes in her product so much. So first of all, understand that to really not give in, to really defend all the time, you really need to know your product. You really need to know what really you are selling. Believe in the product that this is the best thing ever in the world. Now imagine when someone tries to attack your loved one, when someone tries to talk bad against them or assume things about them which were not true or whatever, you always get in the defensive mode because you naturally, it happens, you love them so much. You don't want to hear that. You can't take it anymore because you become aggressive. I'm not asking you to be aggressive, but what I'm asking you to be always ready with the counter. Don't just defend, but there has to be a counter back for the customer to believe, oh yes, she's right. Yeah, he's right. I think I should listen more. I should listen. I should hear. I want to see what's in it for me. Right? You have to make him believe every time that this is what you're missing out. And if you don't get this, your pain is going to be unresolved all your life. So there was this incident happened with me some time back. I was selling this tech products. The customer told me that, I don't have time to go through your product, or even I don't have time to update. So there was this platform which I don't want to talk about so much, but then he had to update a few things on the platform. He mentioned to me, I don't have time right now. I don't think I can take out time for this currently. And the usual me would have said that, okay, fine, I understand. Can I call later? That's so weak, right? You're already giving in into his objection. And I said that, imagine the kind of time you'll save in future if you spend some time right now, currently, the amount of time and money going to save. And of course, I didn't explain to him why. And again, I tried to put up a value, and he understood. And he said that, why don't you call me in the evening or just ping me on WhatsApp in the evening, and I'll just run through it, as fast as I can. And I said, yeah, I'll do that. And things changed from there. The sale, which could have gone for a toss, actually ended up closing. And it made me realize that after that, I have never ever never ever given in. When you give in, the customer gives up on you because he feels, okay, even she does not or he does not believe in his own product, so why should I even pay attention, right? So you need to make sure that when you don't give in on a product, that is the best way of handling objection. So you become like a doctor for the customer. You become like an expert for the customer who is really trying to solve the problem and not pushing the product so much. Don't push the product. Don't push to get the money out of him. Push the value. Push why are you going to miss it out if you don't take it in. Like, simple example, I was wanting to call a customer to our office and long ago, and she said, so there was this customer who was almost in the verge of closing the deal, and in the end she said that, I don't think I can come now. It's quite far for me. So there was a lot of proximity. There was a lot of distance between us and her. And then I didn't give up there. Usually me again would have said, okay, fine, ma'am, I understand that you live quite far. And only the reason I didn't give up because I knew she was wanting to close. she was very interested, very inclined on a product, and I said that you mentioned before that you want to come. You mentioned that you wanted to come and have a look, and why don't you just spend a weekend time, take out a weekend and just come over, and I'll make sure I am able to assist you completely, paying attention to you and you only. And she felt something. She said, yes, okay, let me just figure, and then she came. It is a very simple example, I know, but then what I'm trying to say is that never give up. Never ever give up. Always be ready with a counter, with a valuable counter. Now, second thing, the way you can also, one of the most powerful, I think the most common objection I feel has been the price point, which every customer ends up asking, even if they have the spending capacity, they always will try to negotiate, which is common, which we all do. And for example, you're selling a rug. Now, say for example, I'm looking for a rug and I get a call. Obviously I'm doing my homework. I am trying to figure out where can I get rug from. I want a really beautiful, nice rug, and I get so many calls in a day, right? Because when you're calling a customer, remember that it's not only you who's calling. There are millions that are calling them, and how are you going to set yourself apart is what you're going to figure out. How are you going to set yourself apart from others? Why will the customer remember you even in the first place? So when you call them, what happens usually, the salesperson says that, hi, how are you? Are you looking for a rug? And then I'm calling from so-and-so XYZ brand. And sometimes the customers will end up hanging up on you because they have been hearing the same statement so many times. But what will set you apart is if you craft your first sentence like this. For example, hi, I'm calling from XYZ Drugs, where we customize handmade silk 100% cotton backing rugs. That's it. This 3-4 words which you've added, it has immense value in it already. And now the customer knows, okay, there are 3 important values. It's a customized rug, it's a handmade rug, I can get anything I want it to be done from them. It's a handmade rug. Handmade is a unique, exquisite rug. And number third, that it is silk and it is 100%. Okay, wow, let me just see what she has. You already have set yourself apart in the first sentence. Now, when the customer is trying to put an objection on pricing, like, okay, this is a little higher than the, now he's doing his homework, of course. Even if, like I said, even if they have the spending capacity, they will end up asking you, why is expensive, or why should I spend so much? That is the best objection I feel ever. Why? Because you get a golden chance to put up so much of value about your product. You get a golden chance to talk so much about your product. So much. And you know what? The customer will listen that time. Because that she's actually giving you a chance to tell me why. And you can then narrate as much as you want from being a customized rug and why it's customized, what all you can customize, and what are the benefits, how thick it is, how beautiful it feels when you step on the rug. Always try to sell emotional value of the product rather than just technical aspects of it. Rather than telling her that the pile height is 4 mm, tell them that how you'll feel when you step on it because it has that material in it, and so on and so on and so on. So that is how you handle objections. The number one, the most powerful way to handle any objection in sales is to counter back by knowing your product. If you don't know your product, you won't be able to counter back. You won't be able to tell them why. And again, the more you counter back assertively, not aggressively, the more the customer believes in you. And they feel there is something in them. And when you're firm about your counter, there is a high chance that you won't end up losing the sale. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, take care.